Gas prices continuing to fall nationwide.
It's been a while since I filled my tank up all the way.
The response from AAA and Ohioans as we finally see relief at the pump. Then, new information about the man accused of shooting a Richmond officer. What we're learning after his first court appearance. Plus,
booster shots said to be here in just a few weeks, and kids will be eligible. A good thing given new variants of concern. I'm Liz Bonus. We'll tell you all about them just ahead.
And high school football is back, and so is Football Friday. Closer look at the best plays from around the Miami Valley.
I'm tracking storms for this weekend. I'll time them all out for you coming up.
Live on ABC 22, you're watching Dayton 24/7 now.
A live look at AAA's price map tonight. These are the prices continuing to fall across the country. The national and state average for a gallon of gas falling below $4 after months of soaring prices. Thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Adam Arrow. Megan has the night off. Mamie Boss spoke to AAA and Ohioans about what appears to be relief.
Not just a month ago, people were doing everything they could to save at the pump, which included limiting the amount of driving and cutting back on the groceries that you see here. Now, AAA tells me that because demand went down, so did the gas prices.
Gas prices are trending downward.
It's awesome.
For people like Lucas Roberts, it means getting more bang for your buck.
Because now I'm like, it's been a while since I filled my tank up all the way. It's always been like kind of like $20 here and there, but now that it's like lowered again, I'm able to like fill up and go places, which is nice.
A month ago, the state average was $4.33. Roberts tells me, like many others, he was finding creative ways to stretch his dollar.
Lowered my windows. I tried driving less if I could. I've even had to like kind of cut down on like some of the groceries, like the more like the snacks and stuff that I normally get.
These methods, AAA tells me, lessen the demand for gas, driving the price down.
Do you think the demand will go back up again?
You know, that's a very real possibility. Because like I said, we still have, plenty of summer left. People tend to stop most of their travel after Labor Day.
The state average for gas is now $3.68.
Right now, everything indicates that they are falling, and they'll be falling for a while. The cost of crude has come down. We know that.
For now, many, including Roberts, tell me they are enjoying what appears to be relief at the pump, and they are hoping more is coming.
I would love it. Yeah, if we get back under $3, I'd be super ecstatic. It'd be great.
And a lot of other people telling me they can finally come to the gas station and pick up a snack if they want to. AAA says gas prices typically do drop in the fall. Reporting in Dayton, Mamie Ba, Dayton 24/7 Now News.
Mamie, thank you. Well, the rising cost of rent is pushing more Ohioans out of their homes and apartments. So now organizations are calling on the state to step up, prevent another wave of homelessness this fall. They're asking the state to invest over $300 million in American Rescue Plan funding into homelessness prevention. The Coalition on Homelessness and Housing in Ohio asking Governor DeWine to invest in building more affordable housing across the state. They say it's critical because only 1 in 4 people who need housing assistance get it.
We see more and more people who are doubling up and not doubling up in safe conditions, so in overcrowded conditions. And we are seeing more homelessness across the state. We've heard heightened reports of family unsheltered homeless, families with their children living on the street. That's not something we saw in the past in Ohio.
The organization is warning that homelessness will only get worse if the state doesn't act now. Live pictures tonight over downtown Dayton on our Kettering Health Skycam. It was clear skies for tonight's football games, but storms should be moving in. Natalie's been tracking this throughout the week. Tonight, she is live on our Watson's Weather patio with an update. Natalie?
Yeah, storms will be pushing in for the weekend, so enjoy the rest of this evening. It's a beautiful one. We have comfortable conditions. Temperatures are in the 70s right now. Cool spot in Urbana sitting at 61, but it's feeling pretty good and will continue to overall feel pretty nice overnight. A mild night. Humidity is going to start to increase, though. Overall warmer right now compared to this time yesterday, and it is going to stay warmer overnight as clouds continue to build in and our next weather maker starts to approach the area. So looking into the rest of the evening, temperatures begin to fall mid 60s as you wake up tomorrow morning, but we will see cloud cover as well as temperatures back in the 80s by lunchtime, and then later into the afternoon those storms make their way in. So I'm going to time out those storms, talk about our severe weather risk because we could see some stronger to severe storms out of this. That's coming up in just a bit.
Natalie, thank you. The man accused of shooting and injuring a Richmond police officer made his first court appearance today. Through a video call, Philip Lee made a plea of not guilty. The court also ordered an additional bond of $500,000 on top of his $1 million bond. Lee's facing multiple charges, including attempted murder He's accused of shooting Officer Sierra Burton during a traffic stop. Burton remains in Miami Valley Hospital in critical condition. The Super 8 in Vandalia is having its permit revoked by the city. This is after the motel failed to correct multiple violations on the city's fire code. Because of this, the building was declared unsafe and hotel staff and guests will have to leave by Monday. The motel's owners were also arrested and charged as part of an enforcement action. They'll have 10 days to appeal that decision. Well, today is the day UD students move back onto campus. The university kicked off its move-in day this morning. The university expecting record enrollment this year as they project over 12,000 students. Volunteers helped over 1,800 first-year students and early arrivals move on campus. Move-in organizers say today looked like it did the previous years before the start of the pandemic.
We had move-in times last year as well, so I think there's actually been some positive changes that have happened as a result of how we managed and transitioned through COVID. So we had 2 years of some different kind of move-in. We're back to more of what we did in 2019.
Classes start for students on Monday. And in Columbus, contract negotiations have stalled between the teachers union and the school district. The offer was made last night during a 12-hour bargaining session. Now many are worried of a possible strike and that kids won't be in class. Instead, they'd be stuck at home doing online learning.
We had to experience it with COVID. Some of us were doing it for, I think, almost a year. And it was a lot on the parents, trying to work, be a full-time teacher as well.
Now, the teachers union filed a 10-day strike notice on August 4th. They'll hold a vote on whether or not to strike on Sunday. There hasn't been a Columbus City Schools teacher strike since 1975.
Especially for those kind of the early teens and younger, very small percentage. It probably goes down as you get younger.
2 new variants of COVID-19 rapidly spreading as kids head back to school. Why health officials are already raising concerns. And high school football is back, so is Football Friday. Closer look at the best plays from around the Miami Valley.
Plus, I'm tracking the risk for stronger to severe thunderstorms across the Miami Valley, the timing of them that's coming up. Here's a live look from our Kettering Health Skycam. You're watching Dayton 24/7 now.
You're watching Dayton 24/7 now.
Exclusive coverage tonight. A warning today about two new variants of COVID-19 rapidly spreading, especially as kids head back to school. Liz Bonus shares why they're already raising concerns.
Hey there, everybody. The FDA says those new variant-specific COVID-19 boosters expected in just a few weeks, and they will be available for both adults and children. A good thing as kids head back to class, and two new variants of concern are closely being watched. The boosters are expected to have protection against both BA4 and BA5, already said to be spreading in younger children as the school year starts. Many are not vaccinated at all.
Especially for those kind of the early teens and younger, very small percentage. It probably goes down as you get younger, but probably about 16 to 20% of those are vaccinated.
Public health specialist Steve Devine told me, well, most cases now in younger people are mild, and according to the World Health Organization, have dropped about 24% compared to a week ago worldwide. In the U.S.,
that's a small percentage of what's out there because most people who are getting tested are doing it with home test kits, and those don't get reported.
The two Omicron variants of concern, not on the decline, however, could change that trend. They are BA.4.6, now responsible for about 2% of the cases in the U.S., and BA.2.75, also known as Centaurus. The Twitterverse chose the Centaurus name after the star constellation, half horse, half human in Greek mythology. People appear to remember it better than the BA.2.75. The concern is that the way Centaurus is moving, it could hit the U.S. as fast as the Delta variant did. It's exploded in India. It's now responsible for 40% of the new cases in that area. A month ago, it was barely detected at all. Both these newer variants do appear to have the ability, as other Omicron variants, to evade current immunity, and they are highly transmissible. The hope is that these newer boosters in the works might slow them down. I'm medical reporter Liz Bonus. Now back to you.
It was a warm one across the Miami Valley today. Temperatures climbing into the upper 80s. This is the hottest we've been in a while now. Climbing up to 87 degrees, a couple degrees above our normal high of 85. 62 is where we started out the day, but overall this is a pretty typical August day, what we saw for today. Humidity, it was bearable, but we do start to see moisture increase as well as eventually some thunderstorms making their way into the Miami Valley as we head into these next couple of days, even as early as tomorrow. This is what we're talking about on our forecast. Storms for this upcoming weekend, so if you have weekend plans, going to time that out for you. When's our best chance? Talking about the severe risk, because we could see some stronger to severe storms, and then we do have a warming trend as we head into next week. Temperatures will start to climb even more, but for right now we're in the 70s, 72 currently in Dayton. We have some 60s out there. Cool spot, Urbana sitting at 61, 63 in Richmond. Skies mostly clear at this hour, but bigger picture here showing storms off to our west, and this is associated with our next weather maker. You can actually see an area of low pressure spinning about with that counterclockwise spin. There was severe weather in parts of Iowa, northern Missouri earlier into the day. So this storm system going to make its way closer in by tomorrow. Really won't see the full impact of this until we head into Sunday when we get a front to start to push its way through. So timing out our thunderstorm activity after lunchtime tomorrow, we will start to see a chance for some thunderstorms firing up, and a few of those storms could be on the stronger to severe side. So we'll monitor those closely as we head into the day on Sunday or Saturday. And then on Sunday, another round of storms making their way in. Some storms in the morning, but then as our front pushes in, we'll see some more storms developing by the afternoon. And some of those could be on the stronger to severe side as well. Lingering activity even into our early Monday, as we'll have another trough that will make its way in. And then we'll start to see some clearing by the middle of next week. So a level 1 threat for severe storms tomorrow. It's a very low end risk, but any storm that develops could have an isolated wind gust, damaging wind gusts associated with it. So we're going to monitor for that. And that's the same trend for our Sunday. Now Sunday could be a little bit more organized as we will have a front pushing its way through. So we'll monitor that closely. But for right now, level 1 threat for severe storms for most of the area on Sunday too. So timing out the weekend, if you have plans, start of the day tomorrow looking pretty good. It's not until after lunchtime we start to see some storms developing, and then on Sunday you could see it's really just on and off throughout the entire day. There will be breaks, we will see some sunshine, but plan for storms for the most part. And then once those storms move out, Temperatures are going to be back into the lower 80s as we start off next week, but we climb again by Wednesday 83, and then by next Friday, talk about 87 again. So we do start to heat up again. Temperatures returning back even above normal for this time of the year.
Friday Night Football is back in the Miami Valley. The top plays from tonight's game of the week. You're watching Dayton 24/7 now.
Welcome into week 1 of Football Friday. I'm Andre Johnson. That's Adam Arrow. We're going tireless because it's Football Friday. We're wilding out, but we had a lot of wild football on the field today. Plenty of action, plenty of big plays. It was really fun out there, Adam.
Oh, man, the energy's back. You can feel it. I mean, it was just one of those nights that was perfect for football. Maybe a little bit on the warm side, but honestly, with the crowd energy that we saw tonight, they didn't care.
Well, you know me, I never feel like it's on the warm
care.
side. Exactly, yeah. It could be hotter for me, but then again, I'm not the ones wearing pads on the field. But the guys who were wearing pads and helmets on the field, they put on the show, starting with our game of the week from Butler High School. BELLBROOK taking on Tipp City. BELLBROOK, they knocked TIPPECANOE out the playoffs last year, so Tipp looking for a little bit of revenge. First possession, Luke Benitez rolling left, delivering a perfectly placed ball to Tanner Killen. That's a 26-yard score, 7-0 Golden Eagles early on. Now to the second quarter we go. Liam Peronsky, great quarterback, but he can use his legs too. on the QB keeper up the gut to pick up the first down. It took 4 guys to bring him down. Ooh. Then on the very next play, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. We're going right back to the QB keeper. Peronsky bouncing it to the outside, almost bouncing into me, but he's taken down after 15 yards. So we see he can run. But you know what else he can do? He can throw.
Oh, he can throw well. Look at this.
Lobbing it up to the end zone to the big guy, Stanley Klein. Got him, coach. That's 6'3" senior, 185 pounds, and that evens things up at 7 apiece. What a catch. The students love it. Later on, though, BELLBROOK driving before the half. Luke Carson's taking it strong up the gut, trying to get something going for his team, but that Tip City defense would hang in there on 3rd down, blowing up the screen pass. Andrew Owen and Jackson Robbins tag team in that tackle for loss. We're tied at 7, heading into a locker room, but Tip winning this one tight after a late 35-yard touchdown run by Evan Liette. 14-10 the final from Butler High School.
All right, so that game was a little bit low scoring, relatively speaking. This one was high scoring, at least for one team. The Fighting Megan O'Rourke's of XENIA playing BEAVERCREEK tonight, and this one was all XENIA. First play of the season for Sean Sanders, looking like Barry Sanders, taking it from his own 15. 85-yard touchdown run. He actually might be bigger than Barry Sanders.
All right, the big guy's got some jets, though.
He does. 7-0 XENIA. BEAVERCREEK, first drive. Ends when this happens. You hate to see it. Bad snap, fumble then recovered by Ramon Broder. The Bucks, they take advantage. This team was hungry tonight. Sanders again,
really running
with
the ball
authority.
well.
Man, 14-0 XENIA. The Beavers, they had trouble getting the offense going throughout the night tonight. Spencer Johnson's going to get sacked here by Jamel Smith on 3rd down. XENIA then, they can pass too. They might be a dark horse here. Look at this. What a pass, what a catch. That was definitely up for that play of the week on her. Shamel Wright leaping up and bringing it down. Double coverage, 21-0 XENIA. Final score in this one, all Buccaneers tonight, 40-3. They beat the Beavers.
And staying in that Miami Valley League, Bell Fountain taking out Sydney 43-13. Tecumseh beating Fairborn 48-13. And Troy and Dunbar, a high-scoring affair up in Troy. But the Trojans pull it out 56-24. And staying in that Miami Valley League with a little bit of G-Walk, we've got MIAMISBURG taking on West
That's the visiting section, isn't it?
Yeah, that's the visiting side.
Wow.
Over 200 kids out there having a blast, and so is Christian Davis, 4-star running back, but also a great kick returner, bringing back the opening kick of the second half all the way down to the 40-yard line. And from there, John Smith would take things over. 2 names, 2 broken tackles, and 40 yards all the way to the crib. 28-7 as John stiff arms his way into the goal line, into the end zone. 28-7 Vikings. But then on the ensuing West Carrollton possession, Logan Cloyd swinging it to his running back, but Nathan Ennis says, no sir, not on my watch. So we're going back to the Bird. Preston Barr, the first-year starter at the Bird, with the QB keeper up the gut for the first down. And like I always say, if it ain't broke,
don't fix it.
Very next play, he's doing it again. Preston raising the bar and steering through that Pirate defense to put his team up 35-7, 62-26. No breaks for MIAMISBURG as they take the big win from DOC Stadium.
All right, let's talk Thunderbolts. Let's talk Butler. Deuce Kortner unloading a deep ball to DJ Lamb. Might have to call him CD Lamb after this game. 4 touchdowns.
Wow.
This was number 4, 28-0 Northmont. Man, he's going to be tired, poor guy.
Oh, yeah.
Deion Tran. He wants to put on the big hit for the Bolts on special teams.
Bang.
Ouch. And throws down just for authority. The Aviators then, they would fumble here, but Butler's David Wyngan scoops it up and picks it up.
That's
this is how they plan to do it, right? Yeah, 30
there.
yards for the Aviators. Drive would stall, though, for them. Later in the second quarter, Noah McClure punches it in. 35-0 at this point. Then a high snap. These are tough.
Yep.
For Butler, ball rolls around, is eventually picked up by Peyton Lupton for another Thunderbolt touchdown, 42-0.
Hasn't been that long since they won the G-Walk.
You could say they got thunderstruck.
Oh, there it is. Yeah.
49-13, the final from Premier Health Stadium.
Staying in the G-Walk, we've got Wayne and Fairfield from our Thursday night lights kickoff game last night. Tyrell Lewis, the sophomore quarterback, putting the defense on skates in the first quarter. What a juke move as he stretches into the end zone to give his team an early 7-0 lead. But at the end of that first half, Fairfield's KV Bivens lowering his head at the goal line, but he lost the ball. However, his offensive line, they had his back. They dive on the football, score 14-7 after the recovery. So now we go to the second half. Early in that third quarter, quarterback from Fairfield, Talon Fisher, launching one down the sideline to Isaiah Glover. 21-10 at that point, and it started to look like maybe Fairfield would start to pull away in this game. They went up by as much as 18 points, but here comes the Wayne train. Choo, choo, choo. The freshman running back, Isaiah Thompson, rumbling up the middle for a huge gain. The Warriors would punch it in one play later to cut that deficit down to 11 points, and then midway through the fourth quarter, Tyrell Lewis dropping a dime to the Ball State commit, R.J. Mukes III. That cut the deficit to 4 after 14 unanswered points. The Warriors, they had a chance to complete the comeback on a game-winning drive, but they fell a little short. 41-24 Fairfield, the final. And staying in that G-Walk, we're going to look at some scores from some teams playing out of town. Centerville winning a low-scoring game against Lakota East, and we have another nail-biter in Lebanon. The Panthers of Springboro taking the win 21-19. We'll be right back after this quick commercial break, but first we got to send it to the cheerleaders of MIAMISBURG High School.
The Dayton 24/7 Now News app, brought to you by the Jeff Schmidt Auto Group.
Welcome back into Football Friday. We had a lot of action so far, and we're going to dive into some more, Adam, with that Southwestern Buckeye League.
That's right. To Franklin we go. Beautiful evening. Great stadium, by the way. Wildcats hosting the Bishop Fenwick Falcons. Second quarter we go. Franklin on defense. Their senior leader, Tyler Murray. Pushes around the block, stays with it, sacks the quarterback. Big loss. We'll see him later, too. Wildcats on offense now. They like to run it a lot. Rylan Monk making a couple of great cuts, and the Cats are in business. And how about this? Remember this guy? He just got a sack of the quarterback. Now he's knocking over defenders. Great run there. A little bit later, another Monk. This time Connor Monk delivers.
Wow.
Great cuts, great
got some
run.
good Monks over there.
Woo, yeah, they do. They do. Then it's Murray. Why not? Give it to the big fella. Flips into the end zone. Looking good there. Big play on defense, now big play on offense. Touchdown. 13-7. Franklin is down at this point. The final in this one, Fenwick would pull away 36-14 the final.
And now we go to Welcome Stadium. The Piqua Indians invading to take on Belmont. The Indians up early in this one, and Sam Schmeezing, whose big brother actually plays in Welcome Stadium at the University of Dayton, picking up over 10 yards for a first down, and then we're going right back to Schmeezing.
Oh, he's good.
Another 20 yards to the outside. That's a big guy replacing Josiah Medley there at running back. Even after the play, they can't bring him down, and why not? If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Give it to him. Up the gut, 28-0 Piqua. Then on the next drive, Belmont punting, but we got a little bit of friendly fire.
No.
One of the kids accidentally steps in front of the